me to whisper in your ear. I like you hate to see it and become a patron. You hate to see it.net.
This is our Hush.
I'm Adam.
I'm Jeff.
This is no longer our Hush Time episode. I'm Nick.
I'm finishing up my Bud Light Seltzer, and now that I'm not talking as much this episode, I'm hopping into another drink, Simply Spiked Blueberry Lemonade.
I had a couple drinks last episode because it was about 50 minutes long of recording, and I wasn't talking much, so I drank a lot. Nick, in fact, did the opposite.
I'm
Didn't touch
finishing up
anything.
my second one. My first one.
Fucking piece of shit.
Yes.
Absolute garbage over here.
So, guys, life updates.
Oh my god, please no.
So I made a movie. No.
Yeah. Just a repeat.
And then we just cut the first episode and add
Into-
it to this, and then we fuck off again.
Yeah.
That's how we get them.
Well, we gotta do 5 episodes a month every month now.
Please no. Please never again.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it happens again. I think it might happen a couple more times.
I don't know how many times there are 5 weeks in a month.
I don't know. I'll find out.
Well,
It's not 5 weeks. There's 5 Wednesdays.
5 weeks.
You're a piece of shit.
So, Jeff, how was your May? This is May, right? Talking about May? Or are we talking? Yeah, May.
August is our next one.
Yay!
And then October is a day off of us having 5.
Thank fuck.
November has us doing 5. Though, because of
Fuck.
that.
Well,
May was not good. Brutal. Kind of rude to me. Like I think I mentioned last episode, but we were supposed to, start Drunken Jurors back up, and then life beat Nick and I into the fucking ground, and Adam wasn't around. So,
yeah, thanks. Our emotional support puppy left us.
yeah.
You're welcome.
It was
We had to deal with our emotions by ourselves.
it was a rough one. I had a lot of family stuff come up. Nick had worse family stuff happen, and I had a couple family members like in and out of the hospital throughout May, and then Nick. I mean, you can talk about
Yeah.
yours. But yeah, so Drunken Jurors didn't happen. We're working on it. I'm working on it. I have an outline started, and I've been reading the book. I just haven't gotten to get to a point where I feel like I'm comfortable with making the episode yet. But hopefully soon. Hopefully my life calms down in any fucking way. That would be great.
It's true.
And then on top of that, with work, we moved offices again, so I worked a shit ton of overtime because we're fucking moving everything.
It's wild that you have to move your own shit.
I mean, like, it's hard to pay a moving company to move, like, 400 reels of fiber optic cable. They're not huge fans. And then I'm also the only one under the age of 30 in our office, and happen to be a couple-time gold medalist in powerlifting.
You had
so.
to throw that in there. I like how you threw this, slide that little
Yeah,
nugget in.
So, I mean, some of us are strong enough to move things, and then I regret it, so. And then on top of it, last week I went for a slight PR, because in the next couple weeks I'm supposed to attempt to deadlift 500 pounds again. And in competition, I got that to my, like, just above my knees when I dropped it, because my fucking grip strength fucking gave out, and I tore 3 calluses off my hand, blasted the fucking weight off my shin, and
At
went
least
for-
his muscle didn't tear.
yeah, exactly. And then
I
I went for 455 this past Friday, and I couldn't even break it off the ground. I was like, oh god, I'm pissed off about it, because I'm yet again that doesn't stop me from trying to attempt 500. It just means I failed, and now I have to go up weight. So I'm gonna be trying it again this week. It's been a rough one.
I haven't been able to lift in 3 weeks, and I discovered that lifting was, in fact, the worn-down duct tape that was holding my body together from giving out on itself. So, like, I haven't lifted in 3 weeks, and now, like, walking hurts. So, that's fun. I can't wait to go back to the gym and just blow something.
This is the longest training block I've had without a deload. I've gone literally.
I
deloaded
with cold turkey.
I deloaded 2 days after my, like, competition back in March, and then it's just been balls to the wall for the last 2 months, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So I feel great. Weight don't be moving very well though, so that's a not great sign for me. And to top it all off, I have to probably join a new organization for powerlifting because the place that you went to, the owner and like organizer of all that was apparently allegedly, quote unquote, charged with child pornography. So we no longer go there.
This is fun.
So that's another thing, because now I have to switch organizations, and the only one that really does stuff around here is the USA organization, and that's one of the harder ones to be a part of. So, yeah. Life, man, it's been cool.
It's rough.
It's been a thing. And some other stuff that I don't want to talk about on this podcast. So,
My grandmother passed away.
and we got to a better topic.
Yeah. My grandmother.
That was I don't know how much you involved anyone else in anything that was happening, of what was happening in your life, but I only received 2 text messages about this over the course of 2 days, and that was a wild thing to all of a sudden be like, oh, Nick's grandma's in the hospital. Oh, now she's dead.
Yeah,
It happened so fast.
That is, I literally messaged him one night. Like, he was like, "Hey, like, 'cause we had D&D on Tuesday." I was like, "You gonna make it?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm staying at the hospital." I was like, "All right, cool." Next day, I texted him like, "Hey, man, how's she doing?" "Oh, she passed away an hour ago." I was like, "Well, that was fast."
See, that's still more information than I ever got, because I only got we had talked like briefly, and you were like, yeah, my grandma has a UTI that's gone septic and she's in the hospital. And I went, oh.
That's more information
Oh,
about
really?
yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay.
We got tidbits, but we didn't relay the information to each other.
And then you and I don't call each other with information the way Nick and I call each other
I'm
with
fine with
information.
talking on the phone. You just
Oh,
don't
okay.
call me. I don't
Okay.
You've never once asked, and I've never
To
once.
be fair, you don't seem like a guy that gossips, and Nick and I gossip.
So the thing is like, I sound like this on the phone, but it comes across worse because you don't see my facial expressions. So
Meanwhile,
This is-
Adam
this-
and I are
you're
like,
gonna-
"Oh my god!"
you're gonna gossip to me, and I'm gonna reply sounding exactly like this. And then
I don't
you're
know
gonna
if
be
you'll
like,
reciprocate gossip back to me.
I mean, I can. I don't have a lot. I don't do
Okay.
a lot.
I know Nick and I will just tear other people
I
down
don't.
for fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have a girlfriend or anything, so like I don't have that gossip to give you. Like I don't know, man. My life's pretty
Nick
boring.
and I are living in the time of we have to gossip or else our significant others will disown us. So we gossip with each other to make sure everyone's caught up on things.
I know for a fact that if I tell Adam something, that before I have hung up the phone, Adam has told Morgan.
Yeah, fair enough.
I sent Adam a text, or someone sent Adam. I think I sent you a text, and like when we went out the last time, he's like, "Yeah, I got sent the text, and then I couldn't read it until Morgan got home because."
Oh yeah. Okay.
I love your relationship. That makes me so fucking. I don't know why, but that just makes me smile.
What, that him and I?
No,
do
not
this?
your guys. I hate your relationship. The friendship with you two hurts me, but
So I can't say too much because but
Yeah.
it was things other people said to other people, and
that makes no sense to me. So does
it was in the
involve
middle
me?
of a crisis.
No.
No.
Okay,
It was in the
that's
middle of
fine.
a crisis,
Okay. I think I'm
and
picking up. That.
Yeah.
and I got information, but it was like paragraphs long, and I was like, oh no, I can't read this until Morgan and I can read this together.
I feel like I know exactly how that goes too. I feel like you both get in bed,
We
you
literally
both get comfortable,
lay
and
down.
you kind of roll over a little bit and have your phone open,
Have
and
it
you're like,
open,
all
and
right,
then we start
you both,
scrolling.
Yeah, you both go quiet and you scroll all the way through, and then when you're both done reading it. Now is time to just fucking rip into everything that you just read.
Yes, 100%. That's how it happened. But
You
it
guys
was,
probably could have fixed COVID if you would have just fucking gotten together
It-
and meshed your brains together.
we read it, and it was a time and a half of us just shitting on so many people and so many things. And
Man, I know I'm part of somehow got shit on during that.
no, Not that time.
I'm not a great person. It's fine.
No, see, here's the thing. When like, definitely Nick knows. I don't know if you and Kristen ever did this, but like, it is like everyone gets shit on at some point.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, yes.
Because there's different issues that happen all the time, and it's instead of coming to each other and saying anything, because it's usually minor bullshit, you just go to your significant other and just be like, Jeff did this fucking thing, and I'm going to fucking kill him. Jeff's a piece of shit. Like, and then you're like, all right, now we're done, and we move on with our lives.
And then we get together, get really drunk one time, say, hey, you pissed me off. And we're like, okay. Why didn't you just tell me? And then it's like, now I got over it. And it's like,
Morgan
all
and I literally watched a movie where like two guys got together and like yelled at each other for about 5 minutes and then hugged it out. Oh no, we were watching The Challenge. If you don't know, The Challenge is an MTV reality game show. Starred with like Road Rules and something else, Road War something. It's like early 2000s like reality TV shows, kind of like on the vein of Jersey Shore kind of deal. And then they started a competition, like a Survivor kind of competition, where all these hot alpha personalities have to go at each other for $1 million.
Well, that's why we have at least one beta in our friend group, and that's Nick.
What?
Well, I mean, Adam can't be in a room where someone's louder than him, and I'm a big man.
I don't know how that makes me a beta, but
You're the beta. You're there.
I just don't outwardly express my aggression.
But yeah,
Which
so
makes you a beta.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
so these two guys fucking started fist fighting each other, and then they calmed down and they got to each other, started crying, apologizing, hugged each other, and were like, I love you, bro. I love you too, bro. And they walked away, and it was a 20-minute issue on the show. And I looked at Morgan and was like, that's literally how all men fight, is they want to beat the fuck out of each other,
Yeah.
apologize,
We talked about this
cry,
last-
Yeah,
hug,
we
and move on.
It's come up a couple times recently. I don't know why, but we talked about when you and Nick were like, when you left that party
And then came back to fight.
back and told Nick we're going outside, and you went outside, and the whole party stood at the window to the backyard and watched them. And Grace turns to me, she's like, we should probably have like someone out there. Like, I'm gonna go out there to make sure they're okay. I was like, nah, I got this. And they crack the window, and I go outside, and when I come outside and round the corner of the porch, they're on the opposite side of the yard. It's not a big yard, so it's like 15 feet from me, but like Adam cocks back, and I go, hey, no. And I was like, he's like, I'm gonna hit him. I was like, well, if you hit him, you better knock him out, because you're going down right after.
I just remember holding you by like
You had me by the collar, and I was
collar
ready.
and this, and I was like this, and I was just screaming. and then we moved on.
Yeah, and
But
then
I
like,
also, the thing is I never moved closer.
it was just from the porch, just hey.
I don't think I stopped. I definitely didn't stop because of you, because I like, especially when I'm mad, I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
And
I do think that stopped you from swinging, though.
I think no, because I'm more of a yeller. Like, I yell first and then fight. And you weren't like, I think I had done that to counteract anything that if you were going to do something, I'm not like I'm not like a physically angry person. I try not to be. So it was like, I have you in like the pin up, and I was screaming, and then you were like accepting. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna punch.
Here's
this
the
guy.
thing. I don't know how
Beta.
I was blackout drunk, yet I so knew I was in the wrong there, and I'm like, you don't understand how badly you have to fuck up for it to penetrate a blackout.
The crazy thing about it is like, thinking back to it is, so from parties back in college and stuff, like if you watch the video or you know Nick Purse, you're a big dude, right?
Yes.
And I can, within like a split second, put Nick on the ground with a spear. Imagine if you also, going with that, if you know what Adam looks like compared to Nick, I could only imagine that I would have broke Adam's spine with like, he would have hit you, and then I think he would have folded like a fucking lawn chair.
I think I can move faster than you. Speed might be my only escape.
Yeah, but like,
I have to. I
I have
always
a big
know in
I have
the
a
back
big
of my head.
wingspan, and I was a linebacker in football, and I was
I-
very good at it.
So I know my only way to fight Jeff, if we're both going all out to fight,
is we headbutt each other and die.
no is
It's the martyr perk from COD.
I have to hit first and hit hard, and then run away. Like my whole thing, like I have to either get in really, really close to be able to do much, or I have to be very nimble and dodgy and get around anything, and I have to be the first one to hit.
So this is a weird thing to come up. So I, like you both know, I went on a date yesterday and everything, and we were like, the thing came up of like I've only been in like really like a fight in my life, like one that was like really I would consider like an actual fight, and she was like, oh, like you and your friends don't like play fight and stuff and like hit each other and stuff. I was like, I mean, like kinda, like some of them do, but like they pick on like the smaller people and stuff, and I'm like, but I think everyone understands that like if you play fight with me, there's a good chance I'm breaking you in half.
Men don't play fight
exactly.
like that.
Well,
It's
No.
it becomes a competition immediately of who can win. It's not like
that's gonna be a weird thing for her to hear if like this ends up working out and she continues to listen to this podcast, even though I told her that she probably shouldn't.
That's a good point.
My wife stopped listening.
Shannon still listens, which is wild.
Well, yeah, Shannon gives me episode ideas, so
True.
Remarkable. Fucking yeah, like you said, you're like
you're a fluid body, so you just
no, here's the thing. I 90% of the
Well,
time
Nick has a gun on him.
yeah, I can't if I get into a fist fight, things escalate extraordinarily quickly.
at the time you didn't carry.
No,
a gun
no,
on
no.
you.
And like if I'm drinking, I'm not carrying because that is extraordinarily illegal.
Yeah.
I remember last night. Nick showed up. He sat down. We were all sitting at the table, and he's been
He
there
desk
for like
popped?
5. No, it had been like 5 minutes. He was like pouring a drink, and like Shannon's like touching his side, like whatever, like they're together, like no one questions it or whatever. And like Nick kind of looks like weird, and he's like kind of looking at us, and he turns to her, and he's like, "Are you feeling for my gun?" She's like, "Maybe." And he's like, "Why?"
She's like, I thought it was there, and I'm like, I'm drinking and I'm at a friend's house. Why would I be carrying?
Does she use your gun as like a hand rest?
I know I use it as my own hand rest.
It was just a weird thing when like Nick went, "Are you looking for my gun?" She went, "Yeah." And we were like, "Why?"
Well, because like 90% of the time I am carrying. Like unless I'm going in someplace that is like a stadium with like metal detectors or a government building. Obviously, if I'm going into a courthouse, obviously I'm not carrying.
Yeah.
And like if I'm like bars, I won't carry because you can't carry in bars in Illinois. Fun fact, you can in Iowa, which is wild.
True.
But like it's if I'm not, it's like one of those two places I'm usually carrying. So if I get into a fist fight, I can't get knocked out because if I get knocked out, then the person who knocked me out now has a gun. So that's that. So like,
What
that-
is it? It would be different though if we got into a fight
Yeah.
again. I don't think you'd pull a gun on me, and I also
If he
wouldn't-
does, he's losing his arm.
Yeah.
I might end up with a couple bullet holes, but someone's not
But,
going to
like,
have a
and
functional
also,
use of some
I
part of their
wouldn't
body.
grab your gun and kill
Yeah.
you. Like,
I think
but like at a party like that, I'd never carry. And like at a party like that,
Yeah. Well, to move on to more fun things that are going to make Adam slightly mad because of what he's like, how he grew up and working
Oh.
with his dad and stuff. Putting in drywall with Alex and Paul at Paul's house.
oh yeah, the hole being 7 inches off.
You fuck off.
now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, well, you weren't supposed to just drop the fun part of the story
Ah.
right away. So, well, we can.
That's Nick's favorite thing to do. Drop the fun.
Yeah. Well, we can slightly talk about the bar, but I mean, like, nothing really happened.
Yeah,
it was just five
it wa- it
guys
was- yeah.
dicking around doing car bombs because they're $4 a fucking bomb.
On
So
a
we did
Friday
like
night.
so we did like 6 of them and just chilled out. It was a good time.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was. I liked that bar. It was a little hole in the wall bar.
a little pub.
I remember I have a Jameson story from the movie, but
True.
continue.
Yes. So the reason I was like back home was to see family and stuff, but like also I was back and Alex was in town to help Paul, so I went down and helped hang drywall, which is something like I've only helped replace a part of drywall. I've never drywalled
We didn't do
it.
it 100% correctly because we didn't have
It
enough
worked.
shit. But
Oh,
it
my
was
closet
there.
exploded again.
Oh, that's fun.
No one fucking cares.
Don't have wire shelving.
Get out of the closet, maybe, and you won't have to deal with it.
Wouldn't me exploding?
Stop trying to hang yourself on
Oh,
your
God.
wire shelving.
Well, shit. All right, this went weird. So yes, we're helping Paul because Paul is a disabled veteran and like can't quite lift over a certain
Thank you
amount
for
of
your
weight
service,
and stuff.
Paul.
Yeah,
And Garrett.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
mostly Garrett though.
Not Grace.
So
Super special specialist Gear Bear.
So we were there and like it was like a 14 by 14 room that we had to drywall, and we did the ceiling first. Everything was fine, and then Paul had done his own wiring, which is fine, like whatever.
I like
We
to
just
think
had
it's
to.
knob and tube.
I asked him why he didn't do knob, but we were, you know, there's outlets and everything, and like the light switch, and so obviously you have to cut a hole in the drywall to make sure that you can get to that after you hang the drywall.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex was the one that was originally like measuring and cutting, because Alex basically, I mean, like he's an iron worker, but like he does this.
He likes
type
to
of
say
stuff.
he's good at math.
Yeah, well, whatever. But he's the one doing like the measuring and the cutting usually, and then I'm holding up the drywall with Alex while Paul drills it in.
Yeah.
And that was a wild time. The amount of times I watched those fuckers miss studs by like a wild amount. They would like boom, boom, two directly right in the same spot, like good couple inches, like or like, you know, the correct distance, and then all of a sudden, boom. Hey, why the fuck is that 3 inches to the right and just a hole in the wall? And they just pull out the drywall screw, move over a little bit, do it again, miss again, move over again.
That's 80% of hanging drywall.
I don't know. Aren't studs straight? Like,
Yeah, they are, but also most people can't just see in a straight line. Can you draw a straight line?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
Perfectly straight and level.
No, don't fucking say yes to that.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Once
you know,
once
we got
you
to a point where Alex was doing a sheet of drywall by himself, like off on the side. He was like measuring. He's like, "How about you guys measure out that one, and then like we'll like hang this one real quick, and then we'll go do that one. You know, speed up the process a little bit." And Paul's like, "All right." So Paul's the one measuring it. Paul measures out the outlet, the size of the outlet, how high up off the ground it is, everything. He's saying the numbers to himself over and over. I'm just kind of watching. He has the fucking square. He's like marking it out. He's like, all right. And he like uses the fucking cutter, cuts it, punches it out. And we're like, all right. So we go and we put it up against the wall, and he looks at it and he's like, why don't I see the outlet? I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, pull it off. And like we pull it out a little bit. And he looks back. He's like, huh. I look and I'm like, how, where, did you mix up the numbers or something? And he like, Alex comes over. He's like, dude, what the fuck? He pulls out the tape measure, measures it 7 inches exactly off. He's like, Paul, you're not allowed to cut out the outlets anymore. Paul had like 2 outlets per fucking wall, by the way, for some wild reason.
I mean, that's better. That's
I mean, yeah, like more
that's
outlets
what you
is
should
great.
do.
But like
more outlets is probably
yeah, but
better.
like now all of a sudden, fucking Alex is like, well, Jeff, you do it now, and I was like, well, like I think I could do it, but like now I'm scared because like Paul really fucked that.
I like to
And-
think
but,
that the
but
outlets
Paul,
just move.
But Paul just looked at it and he's like, huh, I really messed that up. And we just immediately took the tape measure from him. We're like, you get to just screw in drywall now.
I got to leave the bar at 1 o'clock, only to be up at 5:30 a.m. for Shane's
He told us
graduation.
he was going to leave at noon, fucking midnight. Well, I mean, you could have left at noon. That would have been fine.
I'm really disappointed that those gentlemen did not close down the bar. That bar was open for another hour. They could have closed it, and they didn't.
It
We
was
closed
only
down.
us.
We closed down a lot of bars this past month. We forced bars to stay open later.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I've been to a couple.
We did that at
places,
Don's
which is not
wedding.
my normal thing. Yeah.
So here's the thing. In Dixon, Illinois, everything closes between 9 and 10. And we found one bar that stayed open until 1. And we found one bar that served food after 7 o'clock.
Oh,
And it served food until 10 when they closed. So what we would do is we'd go to the bar that served food. And some days, we don't get there until 9:30. So 30 of us show up and start
Make
ordering
people
food and
hate
stuff.
their lives. Yeah.
But we would, I mean, we
I
would
mean,
always,
sure, you guys tipped
we
pretty
would tip
fucking well.
very generously. Also, it's a bunch of people from Chicago paying Dixon prices for things, which is like half off.
So
And
you're basically adding that half.
we're
And it's the company card, basically.
no, not for alcohol. No,
Well, I meant for food.
for food maybe sometimes. Depends. Sometimes
Well,
we,
you talked about the couple parties you had at the end. Were those paid by the company, or was that just all of you having to
no. So this past Wednesday was 2 or 3 of the 4 cast members' last day. So the cast took the entire production out to the bar and paid. The cast paid for everything on the
Okay.
cast's dime. Also, you're working with Breaking Bad fucking money and Amanda Seyfried fucking money.
Yeah.
You're okay. The boys' money. Like we're doing fine.
pay? We could buy the bar.
But also, over half of the crew is there. We all ate. We all had appetizers. We all drank multiple drinks. I saw the final bill, $500.
Holy shit.
Huh.
Like only like there was literally about 30 people there.
Well, when Paul and I went to the Duckies, when it was just Paul and I that one time, I had like 4 drinks. I paid like $7.
Yeah,
The fucking all
All I had was Busch Light, but like it was like $1.50 a fucking.
the
can.
luncheon
It
after
was-
my grandmother's funeral for 40 people was like $2,000.
Yeah.
and then let's see, and then
We did bring a
Thursday.
lot of food home.
Yeah.
Thursday was karaoke night at a bar, so a bunch of the crew went out to the bar for
Sounds
karaoke.
awful.
It was fun. And then
We're different.
Friday was the rap party, which was all on the company. And when it wasn't on the company, it was on a guy named Kyle. so
Thanks, Kyle.
so the production paid for the rap party and paid for an open bar up to a certain dollar amount, but a lot of
I've done retirement parties like that.
so
Plug that in next year.
so how a movie works
Plug that in next year.
how a movie works is there's a production,
Well, there's a fucking cord.
the one that's not an Apple cord.
It's a micro USB. God,
It's not an Apple cord.
it's the only thing plugged into that strip that's not like just plugged into the USB.
They're
card.
all white. Oh, here it is.
It's the one plugged into a
He
block.
picked up the same 2 cords about 8 times.
God fucking damn it.
Anyway, so on a movie, like there's it's the production, and then there's production. There's the production crew, meaning the producers, the production assistants, and then there's camera, sound. So Kyle
Plugged in now.
Kyle was one of the heads of production, and so production didn't get to the rap party until 2 hours after it had started, because we were still working and everyone just left to go to the rap party and shit still needed to be done, and so we got stuck doing it all. So Kyle paid for all of production to continue, the production unit to continue drinking for 2 more hours. It was great.
Damn. So you made money and didn't have to spend a lot on alcohol, at least.
On anything. They paid for all my food. They paid for most of my gas.
Hotel, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Did you get like a company car or were you driving around your car?
I got a company car, but that wasn't like you were supposed to drive your personal car, but because I was talent driver and talent PA, one of the picture cars they just gave to me, and they're like, when we need it in a scene, you'll know the day before and know what time the car needs to be on set to do it, to do its shit. But other than that, I got to drive it. It went back to the hotel with me because I would leave from the hotel to pick up cast. So I needed the picture car. Yeah, but so my Jameson story I had at one of the bars the first week of shooting, a guy named Albert, we got fairly friendly with the waitresses and the bartenders and stuff.
I mean, you're there pretty much every night for a fucking
yeah.
month.
Yeah. So week 1, and we are sitting there, and Albert goes to the bartender, and he's like, "Can I have Jameson and ginger ale? Easy on the ginger ale." She goes, "Okay," and she goes and she looks and she's like, "We don't have ginger ale. I'm so sorry, but we have ginger beer." And he's like, "That's fine." She goes, "Okay, I watched this lady put 1.5 ounces of ginger beer into a tall glass, fill it with ice after that. So, and like, still wasn't a whole lot of liquid in there,
yeah.
and then take the Jameson and just go, and just poured
Thanks, Sandra Lee.
so much Jameson in there.
She's sober now.
She fucking should be.
And Albert's looking at this like, oh my fucking god. And also that same night he had a drink called a fishbowl, which had nerds and Swedish fish in it.
Yep.
And he was looking
so
at this.
much sugar.
Yeah. And he was
That
looking
man
at this, and he
had
was
a
like,
hangover, I'm sure.
he was like, oh my god. And he goes and he takes a sip and he goes, that's just Jameson. The ginger beer has done nothing. And then we had another bar that they served rum buckets, and small funny thing, the last shot of the last take that you do of a day is called the martini shot, because you go and have martinis afterwards. Like, that's just the industry of, you always go out to drink every day, which we didn't, but that's just, what it's called is now the martini shot. And our last day of shooting, because Dixon, every bar has rum buckets, we called it the rum bucket shot. So Steve, our assistant director, he calls, this is the martini, and someone goes into, actually, within Dixon, this is the rum bucket shot. And we all start calling it the rum bucket because it's Dixon, Illinois, and they're only known for 3 things: embezzlement,
Wow, they gained
Ronald
one since
Reagan,
last episode.
And rum buckets.
and rum buckets.
I do want to try a martini. I kind of want to start
You've
dabbling
never-
in martinis.
you've never
I've
had
never
one?
had. I've had
Chicks-
chocolate martinis.
Chicks
Chicks
had
lemon
some
drop?
bomb ass.
The lemon
martinis.
drop martini?
I would love some chicks. I would.
I too like women.
What if the 3 of us do a road trip back to Macomb just for chicks?
Is it worth the 4-hour drive?
It's like an hour and a half. Fuck off.
It's not an hour and a half to get to Macomb.
From my dad's house, it was 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. My parents is only 2.5, so I don't know. I just assumed it was closer, but
No.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah. I'm
wouldn't-
indifferent.
I'd fuck
if
her
if
out.
you planned it, I'd go, but like I'm not.
As long as I don't have to drive.
I was thinking. I mean, this isn't a podcast thing, but I was thinking that we need to do like a guys' weekend, get like an Airbnb just randomly and like go do whatever the fuck we want, play Magic, play fucking drinking games,
So
drink, and
have
watch
another
movies.
bachelor party is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
But without the marriage.
Yeah, but without all the people, like the 3 of us.
Oh, the 3. It's just the 3 of us. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I said a guys' weekend. Well, I mean, I guess we can invite the other
Garrett.
guy friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess that's fine.
Garrett, maybe Justin, maybe.
Alex, and
Oh no. Apparently,
Yeah.
Justin's been behaving.
maybe this isn't a podcast thing to talk about because I don't know what that means. And I don't think.
He's a good boy.
Okay.
And I would like to point out, I am mixing 2 completely different flavors of alcohol. We'll see how it turns out.
Man, we got to find out what we're about to talk about. For the next 2
Well,
weeks, so.
anyway, before we wrap this up, to my grandmother, she made it. Really good.
I think only
She said that Adam had the face of Jesus.
Yeah, I was like,
and
here's
you
the
looked like a lumberjack.
here's the thing.
I get that off.
Your grandma sees me forever.
I mean, she made it to 95. That's a good run.
I have the face of Jesus, and if you're Christian, she's with Jesus. So
Oh my
good
God,
for her.
she's in that room, isn't she?
We-
All right, well, I'm gonna piss. So
Oh, I have a story I need to tell you guys after.
after we're not recording anything.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, it's the Reddit thing. My cousin that guy posted the Reddit.
All right,
That's
thanks for listening.
yeah, I'll see you next week. I gotta pee.
Okay.
Jeff's gonna go urinate himself. He's got a zipper on his ass.